think there's a really good chance of going through.
On the evidence of last night, absolutely. And
Everything I said came true, Owen.
That is...
Apology accepted.
That is actually huge revisionism for me, but it's not this whole idea of... okay, so the Wanda's done, therefore Atletico will automatically carry that through to Anfield. It's actually more to do with the fact that we haven't seen this from Atletico at any point during the entire season, which almost gives you more hope.
I'm sorry, but that's complete recency bias. This is... Do you remember there's a famous... on... where was he being interviewed? Was it... Edgar Davids was being interviewed on TV talking about being subbed off by the Barnet manager. Most people don't even remember Edgar Davids playing for... it was the Sunday Supplement, was it?
Yeah, I think he was on that.
Not the Sunday Supplement, the other one, the Goals on Sunday.
Goals on Sunday, all with Cammy.
And he's like giving out about your man. I'll make a fucking Davids. And he's like, oh, shit, I didn't mean to say that. Pardon my French for anybody who's listening out there. Atletico Madrid were looking around at everybody pre-match going, oh, Liverpool are going to win the Champions League again. They're going to win the race. And they were going, we're Atletico Madrid. What are you talking about? No one comes to our new house and behaves like that, sachets through the way Liverpool have been sashaying through the Premier League. We're going to kick them. We're going to bite them. We're going to bollock them. We're going to get under their skin. And they did. I thought it was the most obvious, especially after the break, especially the way they played against Norwich, and especially the way Liverpool have played in Europe. They have not been as dominant in Europe because it's just a different competition.
I guess that's there's truth in that, but there's also probably truth in the fact that they've come up against managers in the Champions League this year who perhaps have just a perfect mechanism to stop Liverpool in their tracks. You're talking that Napoli side under Ancelotti, obviously he's departed now, but this Atletico side under Simeone just having the keys to be able to unlock the emotion that's required to create this ridiculously hostile environment for any team going into the Wanda. It broke Liverpool last night. There's no question about that. Like the Sadio Mane substitution at half-time is evidence of Liverpool being broken. It is a white flag being waved by Liverpool. We cannot handle this. My player cannot handle what is happening out there. He does not. He is after breaking. The Atletico players have broken him. We have won so many games this season. We actually don't understand what it is like to be in such a precarious position.
Is that not good management? Don't get him sent off. You have him for the home leg. Mane, important player in the home leg.
I can't tell if it's good management or not.
Well, come on. I'm asking for your opinion. What do you think? You think that
I would have thought that
allowing him to get into that situation in the first place is bad management?
Jurgen Klopp is this magician by all accounts who can whisper things into everybody's ears and they will turn into world-class players, and he's, according to some people, turning this into the greatest Premier League side we've ever seen. Does he have the capabilities at half-time under a bellowing Wanda Metropolitano to actually say to Sadio Mane, this is what is happening to you? Either A, cop on, give him the stick treatment, or else say to him, listen, you are being unfairly treated here, but just cool the jets here. It's only leg number one. That there were two different avenues here for him to potentially either calm Sadio Mane down to ensure that he wasn't going to get a second yellow card. What he chose was actually, this guy is going to get sent off. You're coming off.
And look...
And maybe this Liverpool team plays entirely on emotion. And, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Jurgen Klopp has instilled them with such emotion that...
Fairly clinical, aren't they? Like, you wouldn't say that the thing that wins games for them is just emotion. It's like, it's a relentlessness.
Like, and I guess the way they've won so many games late on the season from fairly tricky positions in the Premier League would suggest that there is more than just emotion there. But still, I would have thought that if you're going to suggest that players go for this unbeaten season, to have the legs to go for that, to have the mentality to go for that, they might also get so fired up that they will be walking a tightrope, and that's what Sadio Mane was last night. But it was just very interesting. Like, you're looking at Andy Robertson's quotes this morning, like he's talking about the officials making a mistake for the goal, that kind of misinterpreted a ricochet. Like, in terms of how Atletico were acting, Robertson was saying they were falling over easy, but we got on with it, and we are better than that. Well, you're not. You lost 1-0. It was a decent performance, but we have a second leg to put it right. They celebrated as if they had won the tie. But let's see. We have some weeks when they come to Anfield. We know our fans will be there, so it is up to them to come as well. It's easy to be really pissed off in this situation because, you know, you've had it your own way for quite a substantial amount of time in the Premier League, and then I'd imagine Jurgen Klopp in particular is looking over at a more energetic man and thinking to himself, what the hell is going on here? Like, how have we been put in this position where we've fallen victim to complete and utter shithousery? But actually, when I say that, I don't think it was all that. I think it was an excellent defensive performance from Atletico Madrid. I think the comparisons have been made many a time already over the last 12 hours or so, but it was Jose at Inter Milan-esque last night. If Liverpool had done this to a team, we would have been applauding Jurgen Klopp for saying that's an incredible defensive masterclass on a famous European night. This was a famous European night, like Anfield have had many of them, but it just happened to happen in Madrid. And
Atletico Madrid are brilliant. They've been brilliant over the last decade. They've been brilliant in big games under Diego Simeone. This was coming. There was like Liverpool sleepwalked. Sleepwalked?
I will...
Sleeped, walk? What's the past tense?
Walked via sleep.
Yes.
I will say that it's not recency bias. Well, it is recency bias.
It is. You completely forgot how great they are.
But recency bias...
You said they were going to hammer them.
I did.
Trash them.
But recency bias is fine because it's called form. It's not called recency bias, it's called form.
Well, that's recency bias.
You're looking at somebody...
Form's not that bad.
People were upset that they didn't have more Liverpool current players in that Carragher, Roy Keane team than a treble-winning team 48 hours ago. So, excuse me for getting carried away in recency bias, but this Liverpool team have shown unbelievable qualities all throughout the season. They will still progress, I feel, but at the same time, Atletico Madrid kind of woke up last night and reminded us all why they were considered to be one of the great European teams and still have it whenever they want to turn it on.
Patrick McHugh, he thinks it was good management from Klopp, watching from the gym at Tropicana Gold Mine in the Great Victorian Desert, getting ready for the night shift. Wow, that is...
It's the best text we've ever had.
That is a different life from us. And Tommy's just deleted the rest of it there, so I can't actually see it. So, you were going to make a good point. Liverpool may have a soft underbelly where they found out. This is also a possibility that they're just rampaging through the Premier League. Premier League is so bad this year that Liverpool have come up against the first schoolyard bully who's like, no, I'm not impressed by the fact Jordan Henderson, best footballer in England. That's what Diego Simeone is.
Jordan Henderson.
Diego Simeone has like a life-size cutout, like our Kevin Caban one of Jordan Henderson. This is the best player in England.
Well, Jordan Henderson picked up a hamstring injury last night, so it is of vital importance that the PFA Footballer of the Year saga gets moved on in a couple of months for this year only, just so that they can make sure he gets the trophy, because it's already slightly ridiculous that it's a procession that he's going to win this award, but they may as well just get it over and done it now in case he misses any substantial games of the season and it becomes more ridiculous. Like Mane's obviously been their player of the season, and him coming off at half-time, like, they obviously think it was good management if he scores in the second leg and Liverpool go through.
Well, if he's not suspended and they're not down to 10 men, I actually do agree. I think it is when that happens. Gary Kelly should have been taken off by Mick McCarthy in the game against Holland in 2001 when it was clear he was getting absolutely destroyed by Mark Overmars. He didn't. We got down to 10 men. Mick McCarthy dodged the bullet because
we had a great team.
Roy Keane puts in this amazing performance and we win the game 1-0. But like you can see a player getting killed. You take him off and replace him. Different
situation here, though, isn't it? Like Overmars and Kelly is different to.
So maybe something's going on in his private life. Who knows? Klopp knows that.
Then, once you throw that line in there, I can't really argue anymore.
No, it's true. But I'm just saying, Klopp knows more about this than we do, and I think he absolutely gets the benefit of the doubt for taking off players because he's a reasonable manager. Will you concede that? Jurgen Klopp, a reasonably good manager?
We not sit here and analyse everybody's decisions. All managers know more.
We do. I just think that he's good. He was right. I thought that was the right call to get rid of him, take him out of the firing line. Look, Patrick McHugh. That is literally the most interesting gig I've ever heard anybody text us in about. 18 years I've been doing this nonsense. Watching from the gym at Tropicana Gold Mine in the Great Victorian Desert, getting ready for the night shift. Can we just pause for a moment and go, if that's true, big if true, right? I mean, that, like...
It's a weird lie to make up.
Well, it's an amazing... I mean, what do you do in the gold mine? Like, mine gold. But, like, what part of it? How does that work?
And do they make orange juice there as well?
And there's a gym.
Mad, isn't it? You'd have thought that the mining is actually good enough for your upper body strength.
Tommy's saying if it's not true, he's very consistent about this because he's texted us in before from that. But what's the weather like in the Great Victorian Desert? Is it like a fairly consistent 50 degrees Celsius? Do you need to wear sunblock like indoors? Is it that hot? Is that the level of heat we're talking about? But listen, thanks for the comment. And I don't know. I don't know if they've been totally found out. I think that there's a possibility. It's a possibility they smashed them in the return leg. But then again, there's a possibility it's 0-0. There's a good possibility it's 0-0. Lads, getting panicked. We will get them back in Anfield, says a bot S00065705. And Shane Finnegan says, unfortunately, Liverpool will thump Atleti in the return leg. Well, we'll see. The glorious uncertainty of sport. Tell us, where else are people watching from around the world? We'd like to hear from you.